I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback. I've always wanted to be in a big city like Dallas. My first impression when I came to Dallas was just excitement, and I realized that I was in this position not for me to benefit, but to do God's work and to make a difference in my community. And I think it's important to recognize local heroes because it gives an example for others in the community to follow and to realize that that's somebody very similar to them from the same background, and that's who Derrick Ross is. To be deployed at 19 years old, already fighting for your country, being blown up on a mountain, 19 surgeries on his leg, to eventually having to amputate it, to pick back up where you left off, it was a no-brainer to him, and I think that just speaks to his resiliency. And I have to promote his story for others to see it and for others to gain the strength that they need.
What happens when someone who's spent their whole life
Given to others, finally get something in return?
Oh my God.
This is the story of unsung heroes,
Amazing trucks.
And dreams that come true.
This is
The Trucket List.
the Trucket List.
this is the Trucket List.
My name is Vanessa Ross, and I'm originally from the Rio Grande Valley. Nothing holds Derrick back. Like, me trying to keep up with Derrick on the level of, like, the thrill ride that he goes on. You're in for a ride, basically, with whatever hobbies he does. It's not like the safe route. It's always like, let's take the toughest, most dangerous, scariest route and go that way. I'm just like, all right, here we go. When he does something new that I've never seen, I'm like, why am I surprised that he can do that so well, right? Because anything Derrick does, he's just good at.
My name is Derrick Ross. I was born in '88, and I think the first memory I have was seeing the news about a desert storm on the TV. I feel like it's just natural for men to want to protect their family. When I realized that that's what soldiers do, but they do it for everyone, that really kind of resonated with me.
He always just felt this need to protect.
When I was 12, 9/11 happened. I decided right then and there, like, I'm gonna be a soldier.
As soon as he turned 18, he joined the Army. He was never afraid to do that because that is his mission in life, is to protect.
When I was 19, about a year after high school, I got deployed to Iraq. It's kind of like being in the fire. Everything around you is burning, and you're trying to stay cool, and you're trying not to look like, wimp around your buddies. You're trying to be strong and badass. Reality is like, everyone gets scared. We're not all freaking Superman, To admit that takes strength. But at the time, I didn't really understand because I was just so young. And then we got deployed to Afghanistan in May of 2011. We got orders to do a mounted route clearance patrol. On our way there, the soldier behind me was like, hey, stop, yeah, that's a bomb, roll forward, get off of it. Boom, the enemy set it off on us, blew us up. I remember sitting like this, and I opened my eyes and my helmet was off of my head, and there was just dust particles everywhere. It was pretty thick. It felt like 100,000 degrees in that thing. I passed out. I woke up and there was these two guys pulling me up, and I was like holding my leg. So you can't really tell, but they're carrying me. I'm on the stretcher right now, and they're loading me into the Black Hawk. I was limb salvage, which is you still have your leg, but you're trying to save it. I had 19 surgeries over 2 years.
Derrick's intention at that time was get better, rehabilitate, and go right back to Afghanistan to keep fighting. I think at some point there was some realization that that's not gonna happen.
Like at that point, if I'd been 2 years of rehab, I'd been working out, nothing was fixing the problem. They were like, yeah, we can give you an IDEO brace and you can just keep healing from breaking your leg over and over and over, or you could cut your leg off and get back to life. So I decided to get it amputated.
When this happened to him so early on, it felt like a large part of his identity was taken. He could not get over the fact that there's more life to be lived because all he ever wanted to do was be in the military.
Like for me, I've had a really hard time reintegrating into society. I got told pretty quickly that I had PTSD, and to me, I'm like, this is who I've become now. This is normal. It's not normal, dude. You have like a different perspective on everything in life, basically, and it's a negative one. You know, if you can distract yourself from your internal misery and you can focus on something fun for a little while, you can be distracted from the physical pain, and then you can also be distracted from your emotional pain too. War, it's with you forever. It's a really heavy weight that you carry, you know? Now, every year for the month or two before my blast, I'll start having nightmares. I'll have more anxiety, I'll have anxiety attacks. We're so used to winning and being badass in American culture that we don't know when to say we're weak, and we don't know how to even say, can you please help me? One of the guys that I got blown up with, he committed suicide a few years ago. It was pretty devastating, you know, because I'm like here because of him. He pulled me out of the vehicle. He saved my life. I was going to commit suicide in 2012. There's 2 times I was in my bathroom in my old house, like literally like looking down the barrel of my gun and like seeing the bullet and like, no, it doesn't feel right. And I was just like, man, this is not what a soldier is supposed to be. A soldier is supposed to be a warrior, strong person, a professional. And like, I was the complete opposite of that. And so I started to reflect on like, what is strong now? And I remember realizing strength isn't just physical, it's also emotional and mental. When you don't address trauma, it's gonna come out. It's coming out, guaranteed. You're gonna pop off, punch someone in the face, you're gonna punch holes in the walls like I used to do. A lot of people don't realize that. You know, like how many Americans that were alive during 9/11 went to a counselor and talked about that? I really think that's why society is like it is today. No one addresses the trauma. And for me, that was like the start, just one random day. Like it just hits you like a freight train, dude. You just realize this sucks and I'm changing it. So I started changing, started counseling, started working out at this place called Adaptive Training Foundation. Adaptive Training Foundation is essentially a gym for disabled people. It's so nuts because people start walking again that are like paralyzed. And they've gone years thinking they can't walk anymore. And like boom, like by week 2, 3, they're walking. It's like miracles happening over and over and over. You use this, you pull out, and it helps you just engage your legs better. I knew who Vanessa was. She's this pioneer for adaptive CrossFit, a competitor. I had no idea that all 3 of the classes I went through, she was like crushing on me. I had always admired her and looked up to her like, wow, this is a badass human being. Have a kid, have a career, and compete and help the community.
There you go. That's a Derrick-sized fillet for sure.
She was 15. She was in a car wreck and the top of the seatbelt failed. And so she basically like folded in half and like ruptured a ton of her organs. She can only feel from her knees up.
After my accident happened, I didn't recognize my body anymore, and I hated what I saw. And I just basically went way left. Like I lost all sense of like who I was at that point. I just started meeting friends and hanging out with people that didn't have a real purpose in life, you know, the ones that were just doing drugs partying all the time. So I was in a lot of abusive relationships, and I just kind of let it because this person, is taking someone under their wing that's disabled, and who else is gonna want me, right? I had gotten pregnant with a child in 2005. So I sobered up and got clean, and I signed up at a CrossFit gym, and that's kind of when I started this journey of realizing that I was way stronger than I thought.
Vanessa has been incredible. As soon as we started dating, man, the quality of my life dramatically improved. I became a national champion sled hockey player, learned how to surf. I was a DJ.
Once COVID hit, he started taking up archery.
I got my first bow. I would just shoot in the backyard, like every single day. I started realizing it was like a great stress reliever.
With his archery, he has to control his breathing, he has to control his mind, he has to control everything. And he's trying to come to a place of peace and stillness. And I don't know if he realized that that skill was gonna come with it and how much he enjoyed that. He's now involved with guys and look up to him and ask him for his knowledge. He's feeling a sense of purpose to use his passion to help other people.
I really try to surround myself with a lot of really hard charging positive people, like Dak Prescott, a dude that does really good in this world.
I just, for the first time, experienced depression and anxiety for the first time 2 years ago. Losing my mom in 2013 when I was a sophomore in college, to losing my brother to suicide 2 years ago, 2020. I've found talking to others, talking to my community and talking to that village is, whether it was for me or I was just trying to figure out what's going on with them, I always benefited from it. And I felt like, and I'm sure you can attest to this, right? You may ask somebody what's wrong with them, and then they get 5 minutes into it and you realize that you were the problem. You were the one that needed the help, and right? And then so it's, and I say this to thank you for talking to others like that, and for doing that for yourself, but then teaching others that what it can do for them, and because that's what's gotten me through everything that I've been through. So close to my heart because I lost my brother due to suicide. Knowing that Army Specialist Ross has had different encounters with trying to take his life and has overcame that, and now is out there making a difference, helping people, sharing his story and stopping them from taking their lives. I just think about, what if he met my brother? What if he was able to talk to my brother? What if they were able to share experiences?
I try to tell dudes now, if you had the courage to go fight an enemy anywhere in the world, why can't you just sit down and talk to someone about stuff?
Yeah. I lost my brother because he thought sharing and telling others that he wasn't okay or that he was having these certain thoughts was weak. And that's not the case, right? To have courage and to have the vulnerability to be able to speak about what's going on and to tell people how small you feel, that's the real courage and the real strength.
Yeah, I have a lot of regrets, wishing I could have been stronger, but then I also have to give myself grace and remind myself I'm still a human, and we all suffer in our own ways. We all fall down, we all get back up. And when I first got injured, I was like, man, where do I go from here? What's next? Who am I as a man? Who am I as a person? Who am I in this world? One of my first goals was to be able to hike up this real small mountain. Did it. And it was super fulfilling, I cried, dude. I really did, because I didn't know if I could do that anymore. Then I was like, okay, what's next? And I was like, man, I've always wanted to hunt. I want to go bow hunt an elk one day and do it right and carry that thing off and be strong and powerful enough to do that.
What would that mean? What would that signify for you?
I would say the rite of passage of being a man, to be honest. Been trying to slowly chip away at getting strong enough, man. I feel like I'm finally in a position to do that.
That's awesome. I'm thankful to be able to meet a man of his caliber and a man that's doing the work that he's doing after the things that he's been through. Just to have a little piece in helping this man accomplish something on his bucket list is a blessing. The Trucket List concept is so cool because it's a chance for RealTruck to present somebody with not just a vehicle, but a tool and a way for them to accomplish a bucket list dream. So what's happening today is we're going to be presenting Army Specialist Derrick Ross with his Trucket List truck.
My name's Scott Wilde. I'm the general manager at Starwood Motors in Dallas, Texas. We specialize in all things customs for vehicles. At Starwood Motors, we tend to be most well known for our off-road vehicle customization. This project is actually very interesting. The truck is themed for an overland application, whether that's fishing, whether it's hunting, whether it's camping. If you wanted to take a trip to Colorado or Utah and see the national parks and state parks that are around this country, this truck is going to fit that bill 100%. The truck has a suspension system on it that lifts it up over the ground and gives it a little more clearance for off-road use. We're running fuel wheels wrapped in Nitto Trail Grappler tires. Great tire tread for both on-road and off-road use, and gives it a fresh look. Front and rear Fab Fours bumpers, made extremely well. They look extremely good. In addition to that, the front bumper is housing a Rugged Ridge 12,000-pound winch that has wireless capability, making it super easy to use a winch in a situation where you need recovery. In-fab growler steps. They provide a lot of surface area for you to be able to climb in and out of the vehicle. Nobody wants to load their vehicle up for a hunting trip and be exposed to theft, water, snow, etc. So truck bed covers, they're nice in the fact that they provide secure storage for anything that they want to pack in their vehicles and keep everything out of the elements. In those off-road environments, the one thing you don't want to be left with is an off-the-path drive that doesn't have enough light. So there's plenty of LED lighting on this truck. When I go on a hunting trip, and I'm an avid hunter, one of the things that you find most crucial is being able to organize and store things. The swing case system on it is something that I would utilize on a regular basis. The Husky gearbox is going to pack a lot of things up. It's going to pack a lot of gear. In addition, this truck has a Rugged Ridge tent mounted on the bed rack. That's going to allow a person to basically go off-road anywhere, set up camp, and not worry about the surrounding areas. This thing is set up so that you can easily set up camp and be ready to go. So sometimes the smaller details are what really make a project go overboard, right? In this project, we were able to use a pinstriper. The nice thing about that is it gives it a real artistic touch. Pinstripers are amazing tradesmen that can freehand and put a design on that will give it life that's not seen on anything else out there. One of the things I loved about the pinstriping on this is that it uses a few colors from the Dallas theme. It's not overdone, but it adds a touch to it that you just can't replace. The truck is really kind of one of a kind at this point.
What's up, what's up?
What's going on, Dak? How are
How
you?
you doing?
So we finished it. It's ready.
Ooh. For real? Look at that. I like that. That's sweet.
That's it. That's it.
That is awesome. Derrick Ross does not know the full details of what's about to happen. He knows he's about to get a visit from me, but doesn't really know that that entails he's getting a Trucket List truck for him to go and secure this big bull elk that he wants. And trust me, I'm so excited to see just how overwhelmed he's going to be.
How's it going?
How we doing?
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Good to see you. No, man, me and my friends at RealTruck, we decided after knowing and hearing your story, you want to go on this amazing, one-of-a-kind bull elk hunt, bow hunt, huh?
Yeah, trying
And
to put it
this
together.
beautiful truck right here, I think is going to do it for you, man.
You serious?
Am I serious?
Oh, what?
This is your truck to go on that hunt.
Holy cow, dude, just thank you.
No, man.
I'm so grateful. I don't even know what to do with my hands right now. like brought up the elk hunt. He's like, oh yeah, by the way, this is your truck. I was like, what?
No, thank you, man. You deserve this, man. So hearing your story, what you do, man, what you're doing every day. So check that out. For days, man. Fun toys for days. You got
Holy
this, that'll
cow.
pop out, be stored, you can take it with you. Oh, there you go.
I was fired up about the truck, and I saw that bow. I was like, fire would get even hotter, you know? It was just like amazing. I'm like blown away by it. Stoked, pure stoked. Mm-hmm.
This hunt, this is gonna be the ultimate test for him. This is gonna be like the biggest thing that he's done.
What's up, Dak? We're out here in the mountains. Just finished setting up camp. Got out here in style. Ultimate adventure vehicle. Just want to say thanks again for all the awesome stuff, man. And this sweet baby right here. So thanks again, dude. Take care. I'll bring you some elk meat if we're successful. When I'm going so long, feeling like you're this weak person, that you're trying so hard to be strong, and then actually accomplishing it and knowing that you're strong.
I think Derrick's purpose was much bigger than being on that battlefield. And I think his purpose as the strong man that he is to do something like this, to bring men together, to prove to himself that regardless of your injury, that a man is still a man no matter what you're missing.
I hope people realize that life is gonna open that door for you, but you gotta do the work and then somehow stumble upon that door and try to open it, you know, and figure out that it's been unlocked this whole time.